Look up. See that jetliner soaring across the sky? Notice the white trail it leaves behind, lingering long after the plane itself has vanished from view. We might label them contrails, short for condensation trails, a simple and elegant explanation for a routine phenomenon. But what if there's more to the story? What if those streaks in the sky hold a darker, more unsettling truth? They call them chemtrails, and they believe these aerial emissions are part of a vast clandestine operation to control the weather, manipulate populations, or even poison us all. But how did this theory arise? What evidence do its proponents cite? And most importantly, what is the truth behind these enigmatic trails in the sky? The chemtrail conspiracy theory asserts that those white lines crisscrossing the sky are not ordinary contrails, but something far more deliberate and nefarious. Believers claim these trails are laden with toxic chemicals or microscopic particles, intentionally released from aircraft for a variety of clandestine purposes. Proponents of the chemtrail theory often point to the persistence of some trails, unusual grid-like patterns, or X-shaped formations, suggesting deliberate and coordinated spraying. The origins of the chemtrail conspiracy theory can be traced back to the 1990s, emerging alongside the rise of the internet and a growing distrust of government and authority. The chemtrail conspiracy theory, despite its lack of scientific grounding, has captured the imaginations and anxieties of many. In an increasingly complex and uncertain world, conspiracy theories like this offer a seductive sense of order and explanation, providing seemingly simple answers to complex questions. This belief system offers a sense of control, a way to make sense of a chaotic world by attributing causality to deliberate actions, even if those actions are malicious. The chemtrail conspiracy theory, like many conspiracy theories, didn't emerge from a vacuum. The late 20th century witnessed a growing distrust of government and large institutions, fueled by scandals, perceived cover-ups, and a sense of disconnect between ordinary citizens and those in power. Environmental concerns came to the forefront, with acid rain and ozone depletion highlighting the potential for human activities to have unintended and far-reaching consequences on the planet. Against this backdrop, rumors began to circulate about unusual aircraft activity and mysterious trails in the sky. As the chemtrail conspiracy theory gained traction, a complex and often contradictory web of claims and sub-theories emerged. Some proponents argued that the spraying was intended to manipulate the weather, citing droughts, floods, or unusual cloud formations as evidence. Others believed the trails contained harmful chemicals or biological agents released to control populations, spread diseases, or induce docility. One particularly persistent claim centered on the idea of geoengineering, the deliberate and large-scale manipulation of the Earth's climate system. Adding to the allure of the chemtrail theory was the alleged evidence presented by its proponents, such as photos and videos of persistent contrails and unusual cloud formations. However, these claims often lacked context or were based on misinterpretations of scientific data. The enduring appeal of the chemtrail conspiracy theory, despite its lack of scientific credibility, lies in its ability to tap into deeply rooted human anxieties and desires for understanding and control. For some, the belief in chemtrails provides a framework for understanding otherwise inexplicable phenomena. This attribution of causality, even if it is based on flawed premises, can provide a sense of control and agency in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. The internet, with its ability to connect like-minded individuals and provide a platform for the rapid dissemination of information, has played a significant role in the spread and persistence of the chemtrail conspiracy theory. Why do people gravitate towards conspiracy theories, especially those as seemingly outlandish as chemtrails? The answer lies in the complex interplay of psychology, sociology, and the human need to make sense of the world around us. Our brains are wired to seek patterns and explanations, even in the absence of concrete evidence. Conspiracy theories, with their intricate webs of interconnected actors and hidden agendas, provide a seductive framework for understanding complex events. Furthermore, conspiracy theories tap into a primal instinct of distrust, particularly towards authority figures and institutions. The chemtrail theory, with its claims of secret government programs and harmful atmospheric spraying, aligns perfectly with this deep-seated distrust. In a world saturated with information where complex global challenges like climate change and economic inequality dominate the headlines, the allure of simple answers is undeniable. Conspiracy theories offer a seductive escape from the nuance and uncertainty that characterize many real-world issues. The chemtrail conspiracy theory, for example, reduces the complex issue of climate change to a single, easily digestible narrative. Governments are secretly spraying chemicals to control the weather. This simplistic explanation, while lacking any scientific basis, provides believers with a clear enemy to rally against and a sense of agency in the face of a global challenge that can feel insurmountable. The Internet, while a powerful tool for communication and information sharing, has also played a significant role in the spread and entrenchment of conspiracy theories, including the belief in chemtrails. Online platforms, with their algorithms designed to connect users with similar interests and viewpoints, can create echo chambers where conspiracy theories are amplified and reinforced, shielded from critical scrutiny. Within these echo chambers, individuals are constantly exposed to information that confirms their existing beliefs regardless of its accuracy or validity. This phenomenon, known as confirmation bias, is a cognitive shortcut our brains use to process information more efficiently. In the context of online conspiracy communities, confirmation bias runs rampant. To truly understand why the chemtrail conspiracy theory lacks merit, we must first delve into the well-established science of contrails. Jet engines, like any combustion engine, produce exhaust. This exhaust contains tiny particles of soot and dust along with water vapor, a byproduct of burning fuel. High in the atmosphere, where temperatures are often well below freezing, this water vapor encounters the cold air and rapidly condenses into tiny water droplets or ice crystals. The persistence of a contrail depends on the atmospheric conditions present at the time. This simple explanation, grounded in basic science and readily observable phenomena, effectively debunks the core premise of the chemtrail conspiracy theory. One of the key challenges in addressing conspiracy theories like the chemtrail belief is the need to clearly distinguish between scientific evidence and mere speculation. Conspiracy theories often rely on anecdotal observations, misinterpretations of scientific data, and a general distrust of official explanations. Scientific inquiry demands a systematic approach to gathering and analyzing evidence. The chemtrail conspiracy theory, on the other hand, often relies on cherry-picking evidence, ignoring data that contradicts its claims, and dismissing scientific explanations as part of a larger cover-up. Proponents of the chemtrail conspiracy theory often cite photographs and videos of unusual contrails. They also mention health problems linked to aerial spraying. However, much of this evidence lacks scientific rigor. Claims about metals like aluminum and barium in samples are common, but these metals can come from natural sources and industrial activities. Proper scientific methods are essential to avoid contamination and ensure reliable results. In science, the burden of proof lies with the person making the claim. It is not enough to simply point to anecdotal evidence or alleged anomalies and declare them proof of a conspiracy. A robust scientific theory requires a substantial body of evidence, gathered through rigorous research and subjected to peer review. The chemtrail conspiracy theory, despite its popularity in certain circles, has consistently failed to meet this burden of proof. There is no credible scientific evidence to support the claim that governments are secretly spraying chemicals into the atmosphere. The vast majority of scientists and atmospheric experts dismiss the chemtrail theory as baseless, pointing to the overwhelming evidence supporting the natural formation of contrails. Furthermore, the chemtrail theory often relies on shifting explanations and ad hoc justifications to accommodate contradictory evidence. When presented with scientific explanations for contrail formation or alternative sources of alleged contaminants, proponents often resort to claiming that this information is part of a larger cover-up. This circular reasoning and unwillingness to engage with evidence-based arguments are hallmarks of conspiracy thinking. The lack of any credible evidence, combined with the reliance on speculation, misinterpretations, and a fundamental distrust of scientific consensus, places the burden of proof squarely on the shoulders of those promoting the chemtrail theory. Until they can provide concrete, verifiable evidence to support their claims, their assertions remain firmly in the realm of speculation and unfounded fear-mongering. Section 5. The importance of critical thinking. The chemtrail conspiracy theory highlights the need for critical thinking in the digital age. With misinformation spreading rapidly online, skepticism is crucial. Critical thinking means questioning assumptions and evaluating evidence. It helps us move beyond biases and engage rationally, verify information from reputable sources, be wary of confirmation bias, embrace critical thinking to engage in meaningful dialogue. Section 1. The need for critical skies. We've journeyed through the persistent mists of the chemtrail conspiracy theory, examining its claims, its allure, and the scientific evidence that ultimately grounds it in myth rather than reality. Yet the persistence of this belief and others like it serves as a potent reminder of our human desire for understanding, for control, and perhaps for a narrative that transcends the often mundane realities of our world. The sky, in its vastness and ever-changing canvas, has always been a source of wonder, fear, and projection for humanity. We've sought patterns in the stars, woven myths about constellations, and trembled at the fury of storms. It's no surprise then that the idea of something being amiss in the heavens, of unseen hands manipulating the very air we breathe, should take root in the imagination. But just as we've learned to distinguish planets from stars, to predict eclipses, and to understand the forces driving weather patterns, so too must we apply critical thinking to the claims made about those enigmatic trails left by jetliners. To accept the chemtrail conspiracy without rigorous evidence is to abandon the very tools of reason and scientific inquiry that have allowed us to comprehend the universe around us. Section 2. The beauty of real science. The beauty of science lies in its constant quest for truth, its willingness to question assumptions, and its reliance on evidence rather than dogma. The study of contrails, far from being a sinister cover-up, is a testament to this ongoing pursuit of knowledge. Scientists have meticulously studied the formation, persistence, and composition of contrails, unraveling the interplay of atmospheric conditions, engine emissions, and fluid dynamics that give rise to these aerial etchings. Their findings, far from supporting the chemtrail theory, only further solidify our understanding of the natural processes at play. Through controlled experiments, computer modeling, and careful observation, they've demonstrated time and again that the behavior of contrails can be explained entirely within the framework of known physics and chemistry. This is not to say that science has all the answers, or that there are no mysteries left to explore in our skies. On the contrary, each new discovery opens up new avenues of inquiry, pushing the boundaries of our knowledge further. The study of atmospheric science in particular is crucial for understanding climate change, weather patterns, and the delicate balance of our planet's ecosystem. Section 3. Keep looking up, keep questioning. So the next time you find yourself gazing up at a sky crisscrossed by those white trails, remember this. Curiosity is the hallmark of both the scientist and the child filled with wonder. It's perfectly fine to ask questions, to seek explanations, and to approach the world with a healthy dose of skepticism. In fact, it's this very spirit of inquiry that has driven scientific progress throughout history. But as we seek answers, let's do so with a commitment to evidence, critical thinking, and a willingness to follow where the data leads, even if it challenges our preconceived notions. The truth, as they say, is out there. But in the case of chemtrails, it's not a shadowy conspiracy hidden in the clouds. It's the elegant simplicity of science, revealed through observation, experimentation, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. Keep looking up, keep questioning, and never lose your sense of wonder. But let's also remember that the most extraordinary discoveries are often grounded in the ordinary laws of nature, waiting to be unveiled through the clear lens of reason and scientific understanding.